You've escaped grade 6 jail. You've cracked open the examiner's vault. You should be sitting on a grade 9, so why aren't you? I've analysed the consolidated AQA examiner reports, and I found something that stopped me cold. The scripts that miss grade 9 are not missing knowledge. They are not missing structure. They are missing 3 things that no teacher ever explicitly warns you about. These are invisible traps, mistakes that look like strengths. Students walk in with flawless essays, multi-page responses, real case studies, and they trigger all 3 on the same paper. Today, we are closing every single one. Do not skip the final countdown, because our 3rd mark killer is the absolute silent assassin of straight A scripts, and it's the one you are probably most confident you're getting right. Mistake number 1. What examiners explicitly call exaggerated and unrealistic claims in case study responses. Here is exactly how it happens. A top-tier student wants to demonstrate powerful geographical knowledge. So when describing a hazard's impact, they amplify. They write that low-income countries suffer, quote, total economic destruction, where nobody has food for a decade. Or they claim that high-income countries, like Japan, can flawlessly predict earthquakes to avoid all injuries. The examiner reports are direct. High-income countries cannot predict earthquakes. Survival is engineered through construction standards, early warning systems, and community protocols, not through prediction. And low-income country impact descriptions must remain grounded in realistic data, not rhetorical drama. The distinction AQA examiners specifically reward is prediction versus preparation. High-income countries like Japan do not predict earthquakes, they prepare for them. Writing that Japan can predict seismic events immediately signals to an examiner that you have misunderstood hazard management at a fundamental level. Use preparation and mitigation, never prediction. The absolute rule for grade 9: every statistical claim must be defensible. Precise percentages, referenced years, named agencies. Real exam data and case study statistics are non-negotiable requirements for unlocking level 3. If you just substitute hard facts with generalized mechanisms, you trap your answer in a mid-level score. Examiners are not impressed by how serious you make the disaster sound. They are impressed by how accurately you use precise data to describe its geographical consequences. Mistake number 2. And this one is almost universal among grade 8 students who should be getting 9s. Look at this 9-mark question from AQA Paper 2. Tourism is an effective way of reducing the development gap. Do you agree? Here's what a near-miss answer looks like. A paragraph on tourism bringing investment, a paragraph on leakage and exploitation, then the final verdict, delivered in the last sentence of the conclusion. This feels structured and fair, but the examiner is marking a sustained argument. When your thesis is hidden in the conclusion, your argument is not sustained, it is assembled at the end. This is the classic structural signature of a level 2 essay, not level 3. The grade 9 rule. Your verdict is sentence 1. Not sentence 5, not the conclusion. Sentence 1. Here is what that looks like. To a large extent, tourism is fundamentally ineffective as a primary strategy for closing the development gap because whilst it generates immediate local employment, profits are overwhelmingly lost to foreign transnational corporations via economic leakage. Within 15 seconds of reading, the examiner knows your position, your geographical reason, and your evaluative vocabulary. That is a sustained argument. That is level 3. Mistake number 3, Paper 3 Fieldwork. This is the single biggest grade decider in the entire course. And let's clear up a massive misconception right now regarding the big fieldwork extended writing question. Many students think it's a standard 9-mark question. It isn't. It carries an additional 3 SPAG marks, making it a 12-mark question in total. If you write an unstructured, informal response, you aren't just capped at level 1's 3 marks for content, you are throwing away a massive chunk of the 12 overall marks available. Here is how top students kill their score on it. You see an unfamiliar data chart in section B. Notice a point that doesn't match the trend and write, "This result was weird," or "This data seems wrong." Your paper is immediately flagged. The examiner reports explicitly cite informal, non-geographical vocabulary as a low-level marker. To secure a grade 9, you must swap informal text for precise scientific terms that AQA fieldwork markers explicitly reward. Get your phone out. This is the complete grade 9 survival kit. Ground every case study. Replace dramatic impact language with precise referenced data. Real case study statistics and direct manipulation of resource figures are non-negotiable for level 3. Declare an immediate thesis. Set your final judgment in line 1 of every 9 marker. Your verdict leads, your evidence follows. Sanitise paper 3 language. Swap informal descriptors for exact scientific terms like anomaly, stratified sampling, validity, and subjectivity. Remember, the big fieldwork question is worth 12 marks total with SPAG included. Protect those marks with scientific precision. You now have the complete blueprint. Grade 7, Grade 8, Grade 9. The only question left is whether you actually use it. Here's what I want you to do right now. Take your most recent practice paper, apply just one of these 3 fixes, and leave your before-after score in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll personally tell you what to target next.